Greetings, boys and girls. In this video, we are going to be answering the first page of your packet. Today's lesson is on joining and separating angles. The essential question we're trying to figure out is, how can you determine the measure of an angle separated into parts? Okay, looking at the first problem. In the first problem, we are asked to find the measure of angle PQT. So here's P, Q is the vertex, T is right over here. Now we can see that that angle is formed when the angle of 43 joins with the angle of 37. So since I realize I'm joining, I know I'm going to add 43 plus 37, and that's going to give me my angle measure for angle PQT. So now I'm going to just add 43 plus 37. 3 plus 7 would be 10, and I carry my 1. 1 plus 4 plus 3 would be 8. So my angle measure for angle PQT is going to be 80 degrees. All right, let's look at number 2. In this problem, we're also joining two angle measures to find a larger angle. So we have angle JKL, that's the one we're trying to find. And you can see J, then they give us the vertex of K, and L on the outside. So we have an angle measure of 90 and an angle measure of 10. They're right next to each other. So I'm going to combine these or join these two angles to get the total measure of angle JKL. So my equation that I need to write is simply going to be 90 plus 10 equals A. Remember, I put my little variable because that's what I'm trying to solve. Okay? So what is 90 plus 10? Ooh, I can do that one in my head. That is 100 degrees. Now, for number 3, we are trying to find the measure of angle RHS. Now look, R is over here, H is our vertex, and S is right over there. I'm going to give you a few moments to go ahead and figure out how to solve this one. Remember, that angle is formed by joining the 78 degree angle, the 27 degree angle, and the 55 degree angle. And don't forget to write your equation. All right, I hope you had a chance to solve it. You would be adding 55 plus 27 plus 78 degrees. And you see I have my equation 55 plus 27 plus 78 equals A. And then I put my angle measure of 160 degrees. I'll give you a moment to jot that down if you haven't had an opportunity. Okay, let's move on to number 7. In number 7, it already tells us that this is a multi-step problem, meaning I'm going to have to do more than one step. They tell us that angle DRQ is a straight angle. So this is one of those times when it does help to draw it out so that you can see what it's referencing. I'm going to fix my line a little bit because I was a little messy with that. DRQ. Then they tell us that the measure of DRB is twice the measure of QRT. Okay, so now I have this measure, DRB, is 2 times the measure of QRT. This one right here. And our question is, what is the measure of angle DRB? Well, we don't know what it is, but we know that it's 2 times whatever QRT is. So let's start with QRT. We know that, and I'm going to try and recreate this at the bottom here. We have a 75-degree angle right here. We have an 85-degree angle right here. Then we have a mystery angle right there. And we know that all of this forms a straight angle. So 75 plus 85 plus a mystery number equals 180. So the first step I need to do is I need to figure out what is this unknown angle measure right here. 75 plus 85. I need to add those two together. So let me come over to the side and add 75 plus 85. 5 plus 5 is 10, carry my 1. 1 plus 7 is 8, plus 8 is 6. So now I have 160 degrees. So 75 plus 85 equals 160, but I still need to get to 180. So I can take 180 and subtract from it 160, and I'm left with 20. So therefore, this unknown angle measure that I didn't know before, that is 20. So now I'm going to go over here and write 20. But I know that this unknown angle measure that I'm really trying to solve is 2 times 20. So what do I now need to do? Well, now I need to multiply 2 times 20 because they told us that this larger angle was twice the size of QRT. So 2 times 20 would be 40. Therefore, our answer would be 40 degrees. I'm going to give you a moment to go ahead and get caught up if you missed any of that. Okay, for our last problem, number 8, we are figuring out which equation can you use to find the measure of angle XZW. So it's X, Z is our vertex, W. So we can see they're joining two angles. They're joining 42 and 71. Now, when I join something, I'm adding it. So I know that my equation is going to have to involve adding 71 plus 42, and it's going to be some unknown amount. So now I'm looking at my answer choices. Ooh, they're subtracting. No, that doesn't work. This one is adding. That can work. Here they're multiplying, which we know doesn't work. And here they're subtracting something from 180. I wonder, does anybody know where these numbers came from? 180 and 113. That answer is not right, but I'm wondering if you know where they came from. Well, someone may realize that they added 71 and 42, and that's where the 113 came from. And 180, I guess they just thought of a straight angle. Okay? Boys and girls, at this time, you are now going to work on the next page, joining and separating angles with a partner. After you are done with that page, 509, you will then work by yourself on 510. All right, be mindful of our timer.